right. Welcome to the 20th episode of the Wisco Wistys. My
We
name is
made it.
Mason. That's Cole.
Don't you-
We made it, y'all. This is where statistics, we could become a statistic. Most podcasts fail after 20 episodes. So,
Hey, we're blowing up now. We're
yeah,
massive.
we'll get to 21 and then we'll quit.
This is true. Um, stuff.
So, we had a big
Did you do
week.
anything this weekend?
I watched the Packers beat the Bears because the
Oh
Bears still
yeah.
suck. I get so much joy from watching all the videos of Bear fans, like either watching the game or reacting to it or like talking a lot of shit before. Like I saw this one guy who was like, we've been playing so well. Our defense is really good. It's stepping up. Justin Fields is playing really well. We're coming into our own. We hate the Packers. I think we go up there and we beat them just like the fight or the Lions did last year. I so think it's going to happen. I hate the Packers, whatever. And then we beat them and they're like, we're never going to be good. We're never going to beat the Packers. And I'm like, I fucking love this. Fuck the Bears. Bears suck. And they always will.
They we own them. Well, they say it's like 10 in a row at home that we beat them. Like we literally own that city, which is nuts. We're in their head now. I'm
Yeah.
going to be completely transparent. I thought we were going to lose because the Bears were playing well and we were inconsistent.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Um, Chuck messaged me and he wants to do a Packer Bear game in Soldier Field and in Lambeau. And he goes, I don't care what's first, but it's got to be electric. And I'm like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
let's do it. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be
But
fun.
Love
Especially with
played
him.
outstanding. It would be. Love played outstanding.
Yeah,
Defense showed up.
he's peaking at the right time.
It was awesome to see.
Yeah, defense
Um,
showed up, but their offense was
cool to
not very
clinch.
impressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Love it. Um, I don't know. I still don't think it's enough to give Joe Barry his job back, but yeah, I'm happy how we're playing. It'll be fun to
It
watch. And
better
one more,
fucking not be.
it better. It's just nice to have one more week to watch the boys again, against the boys, the Cowboys. We're not going to win that game, which sucks, but I think this is a total win for the season. No
No,
one expected us to be here. Everyone was like, well,
absolutely.
we're not gonna, do that well anyways. We just want to see how Jordan Love is, and we are seeing how Jordan Love is, and he looks like the future, which is cool.
I agree. I think we're going to discuss the playoffs and looking ahead, but I think just getting there, the mentality, the how young we are, just the experience, just the boost in general that it does to prove that you can get there. Once you're in, you never know.
Right. We're
And
the
like
youngest team to
realistically,
ever make the playoffs, which is cool.
yeah, we're not going to win it realistically, but you never know. There's always that hope, and then whatever. So like, it's just a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they lost to the
same
fucking
same
Cardinals. Anything can happen.
yeah.
That was away,
Well,
but
I was
still.
gonna say it's the same thing as 2010 when we got in. You're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then all of a sudden we just go on a tear. Like, not saying that's gonna happen, but it's just the same idea as who knows?
Right.
And it's cool. But
Yeah.
anything else from that game?
No. I think what we should do is just outline what we're going to talk about today so people kind of know what we're going to do here. So we're going to we're
Yeah.
going to continue with what we're doing now with a weekend review. We already talked kind of a little bit about the Packers, so we'll review last weekend. And then after that, we're going to do a little bit of some predictions for the beginning of the season, like next season, right?
No, no,
It
we
says
are
beginning of
putting each
season
other.
predictions review.
Yeah, we're reviewing our beginning of season predictions. We're putting each
Oh,
other on blast on
okay.
how far off and how close we were on things. I have
You
the whole, I went
you
through.
You
r-
worded that weird, so I
rewatched the
didn't
whole
understand.
fucking thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I
That
mean,
makes sense.
beginning of season predictions review kind of
Okay.
makes sense to me, but
Well, it's just wordy, but okay. Um, we're going to talk about the coaches that were fired or anyone who didn't get fired that should, what to do with some coaches. And then
yeah, awards, and then we're
talk
gonna do quarterbacks.
talk about quarterbacks. What do we do with, this guy, this guy? Look ahead to the start of the
Then that's
start ahead.
yeah, we're
You're gonna
gonna
look
do
at the
playoffs.
playoffs and stuff like that. Couple bets.
Yeah,
Jerseys will be quick, but yeah, that's what we're doing
big
today.
one.
It's gonna be a good
No
one.
game. Yep.
Just strictly business.
So all business, all gas, no brakes. Texans worst to first. Beat the Colts. Another team, young team gets in. Very cool. Don't think they'll do anything. Stroud's a stud. Jaguars took that division away. Any other thoughts?
No, Jaguars, you got to figure something out, man. Lawrence is good, but I don't know. The coach is good, but I don't know. Something's
They
missing.
fired
They
their
got to
whole
figure it out.
defensive staff, but like you're saying, he was hurt, so I don't know how much that affected him, but
It doesn't help.
everyone's was trying to put him in like top five category, and
Yeah,
he
not
ain't
there yet.
there.
Not yet.
Not yet. He could be, but
Potential,
not
but not,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Buffalo,
Um,
Miami, that game was not what I expected. I thought Buffalo was going to be a lot better than they were, but they ended up pulling it off. So whatever. But I mean, Buffalo to even be
I
the division winner at this point. I mean, it's at one point they're like, are they even going to
Boosie.
make the playoffs?
Yeah.
I know that's awesome.
The
I love
um
it. I love it.
the Nick the Nick Wrights of the world who I see in my timeline all the fucking time of Buffalo's dead. They're suck. Josh Allen stinks. They're bad. Blah, 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 blah. And then well, they're not going to beat Miami to end the season. Blah, blah, blah. And they win the two seed, have a like great season by 2 seed mark, but it was a weird season. People would say it's a bad season for them. Weird overall. I thought the game, Allen did Allen things in the sense of like the first interception. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like Gabe
Yeah.
Davis throw this and he threw it that way. The second
Hmm.
one was a punt. I don't get why people really care about that one. The fumble sucked. He threw that ball short of the goal line, so it was like stupid. And then he runs 15 yards for a first down, and you're like, holy fuck. And then he throws this deep ball down the sideline on a rope on the run, and you're like, holy fuck. Like the guy, you live and die with him. And I am really, and I'm going to say this as a Packer fan, and I don't know if it's the NBA just creeping in on me. Because in the NBA, I root for players. I root for the Celtics, but I root for players. Like I like certain players and I dislike players. Like I'm not a um Draymond Green fan, right? But I don't hate Steph Curry, but I root against the Warriors because of Draymond. I never liked LeBron, so I'm not a I don't hate the Cavs. I just didn't like LeBron on the Cavs, right?
Yeah.
I am, and we've talked about this before, I'm a Josh Allen fan. I really am. And I'm considering getting a Josh Allen jersey, but I just
Oh my
don't
God.
like their jerseys. So I don't know if I could get one because I don't like the colors and I don't like how they look. But he is just awesome. He's got to be my new favorite all-time, like full-time player right now.
You could get a
Has
white
to be.
one. The white ones are fine because it's less color going
That's
on.
that's the only one I was looking at because they had a blue and a red, and I'm like, I am not wearing red. And then the blue is like, okay.
It's too bright. Yeah.
But yeah, he's a stud. Like I love watching him and I love rooting for Buffalo. I'm just saying.
Yeah. They're fun. I like it. Eagles, I don't even know what the fuck they're doing anymore.
Oh God.
I mean, his
I
finger, did you see his finger? Just bent like that. I was
It's
like,
gross.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't need to win
I
that game. It didn't really matter. They could, if they would have won and Dallas would have lost, then they would have got the division. But Dallas isn't gonna fucking lose to the Washington Red Command Skins. They're not gonna lose to
I
them.
I didn't think the Eagles would lose to the Giants, but that happened, so I don't fucking know. All I'm
Yeah.
saying,
But if they both win,
remind me,
it doesn't matter.
no, but they shouldn't have lost to the Cardinals to begin with, but they did. Remind me in 2 minutes to, because I took some notes on who we picked, but then I also took some notes on what we said, and there's some far off things, and then there's some spot on things. So
Oh,
remind me
nice.
of this moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Just say Eagles.
Uh, yeah. Steelers.
I mean, we talked about not really wanting them in the playoffs because they're just it's Kenny Pickett. Like no one wants to watch fucking two gloves
Well,
throw the ball. But
Tomlin, Tomlin's just
I don't
Tomlin.
even I didn't realize that they had 10 wins.
Yeah, he just fucking finds a way, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. But I mean,
They need to find a
TJ Watt,
quarterback.
he's good.
He's hurt.
I
He's
know
hurt
that
though. That's what
sucks. Is he
sucks.
not playing?
I don't think so because the only like spoiler alert, I think all the games any team could win this weekend. But the only way I thought they could win is if TJ Watt played and he goes like sack fumble on Allen, they get a pick six, and it's just like one of those Steeler games. But if he doesn't play, yeah,
Yeah,
it's just yeah, it's
yeah,
not the same.
yeah. I don't know how they did it, but they keep fucking doing it. Has he ever had
Well, I
he's never had a season under 500, right? He's a fucking beast. He's so good.
I
He's
know
a
and
great
they
coach.
talk about firing him all the time.
And he never
I
does.
don't know why.
Why?
And then
Yeah.
fucking
He
George
makes
Pickens,
nobody's get into the playoff.
I bet on George Pickens, and he didn't even get a target when the last two games he had like 300 yards combined, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how does the world screw me? And Tomlin still finds a way.
Yeah.
Um, Last night's game, did you watch the championship game?
So, yeah, most of it. Once I think they went up, Michigan went up 27 to 10 or something or 13. I was like, all right, with like 5 minutes left, I'm
I,
like, this is over.
I felt
I
exposed.
Yeah, because you were sucking on some Penix.
He like so many times I was like he hits that throw every time, and then this entire game I was like the fuck, man? Like that guy
I
was
know.
open, or like you know, like it. He just looked. I don't know if his nerves or he was off or what,
Well,
but
they
it
were
was
blitzing
bad.
a lot, and they kept showing the stat where it's like him without pressure versus him with pressure, and he's way better without in this one
Well,
game.
yeah,
But yeah, I know because you were like talking about how accurate it was, right? That's our clip.
it's
Pew, pew,
perfect.
pew.
He,
And
yeah,
I'm like, okay, I watched him play like one game. Maybe it was against Oregon earlier this year. And I
he
didn't
was
really pay
money.
too much attention. But I was like, okay, I'm kind of looking forward to see him. He can sling it. That's
Yeah,
no doubt. But I'm like, I was waiting. I'm like, didn't Cole say he was fucking accurate? He's all over the place, missing guys.
Texas.
One couple of them, like
Yeah,
the receiver and him weren't on the same page. Like he threw it to his spot, and the
it's just
receiver was like got turned around. Like, what are you doing? So I just couldn't. They just could never get anything going. I've never seen so many like punts, and I'm like, can we fucking do anything? Get a fucking
it was
first down, please, somebody. And then
it
Michigan
was
just ran the
frustrating.
fucking ball like
Well,
no one's
that's what
business.
bugged me because it was like Penix and them are not on the same page. He's kind of off. I'm like, is it nerves? Their O line blew.
Yeah, he's
Like the
for his
D line of
fucking life.
Michigan was whooping them, like whooping the shit out of them up front. I'm like, it's
Some
one
white guy
on
named Mason
one.
was just wreaking havoc.
I know. I'm like, Jesus, he's got maybe it's that the timing's off in his head because of that. I don't know. I'm not gonna make an excuse for him. He looked like shit against Texas. It was darts. I don't
Yeah,
know what happened, but Corum, they run the ball right up their ass, like boom, up their ass, right? And I'm like, Jesus, this is going to be a blowout like last year. And then all of a sudden, Washington just stops them, and they stop them, and they stop them, and I'm like, fucking what? Like, score! Your whole team is about scoring.
yeah,
Don't score. There's a four, and then they finally get like a fourth and goal score. I'm like, okay, and then there's so many points where they could have brought it back. and they just didn't. They didn't deserve to win. I didn't want to see fucking Harbaugh kiss his mom on the lips either. I didn't want to deal with that. Any of that garbage. I fucking hate it.
Yeah. I mean, how many rushing yards did they end up with? Like 300 as a team or close to it?
Yeah,
It was,
because I mean the one guy had like 3 rushes for 100 yards in the first quarter.
yeah.
Like
Two
what?
like 40 plus yard touchdown runs. I'm like, okay. Well,
I know.
I mean,
It's fucked.
shout out to Nathan Tran. He's a he's a go blue boy. So they he was
Yeah, the best Michigan.
yeah, super pumped. But other than that, I don't really care. Yeah, Allie will love that.
Yeah, I'm a yeah, the real Michigan college. Okay.
Let's review
Now we're
our
gonna go
the beginning of the
into
season
the
predictions.
yes. Here we go. Listen up. So it's gonna be a lot of me talking, okay? Um, for just some highlighted aspects. Mason calls out Brock Purdy immediately on the first podcast. I don't believe in Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not good. Still has them as his 2 seed, but did not believe in Brock Purdy. I think that's a check. I think you won
So
that one.
I have the Eagles as the 1 seed.
You had the Eagles as a 1 seed, and then you weren't prepared, so you did not list any other teams for the rest of the thing, but you
Me not prepared
did
for this
quote,
podcast? No.
yeah, you did quote, no way the Packers make the playoffs.
No shit.
Just putting that out there.
But I mean, we
Just
were
putting it
literally
out
a
there.
game away from that not being such a hot take.
Because, and I can call myself here, I picked them to win the division at nine and
Yeah.
eight, at 9-8, at 9-8. They didn't win the division, but they got to 9-8, bitch.
Yeah.
And you're like, they're not even going to be the second. So I was spot on there. Um,
Not spot
I
on, but you were
don't even
on.
remember. I got the fucking record right. I should have bet the
Yeah, but
perfect record in Vegas. It would have been money.
record, sure, but you missed the biggest part of us winning the fucking division.
Anyways, I don't remember saying this, but I said it and I was like, wow. I was like, Jalen Hurts is overrated and I don't
Yeah, I
believe
remember
in
you saying
Jalen
that.
Hurts.
I remember you saying
And I
that
was like,
because I kind
okay,
of
I
agreed
was
when I'm like, yeah, if you really look
it's
at it, he's
one
not
good
that good.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Around a superstar team. So I was like, okay. And that kind of, I don't know if it was exposed to correct him exposed, me proven right, but I think that takes kind of falling in the correct category here. I'm just putting that out
No,
there.
I would agree.
Here
That's
are
good.
the wrong takes for the year.
Shit.
One for you, one for me.
That's it.
I'll go mine first. Well, I just picked one out. There was a
Okay, I
ton,
was
but
gonna say, damn, that's pretty
I
good.
I thought Baker Mayfield would be benched by like week 4, and I didn't think they were even gonna come close to the playoffs, and they won the division. So I
Yeah.
was wrong. I talked trash to Chuck. I was like, Chuck, your quarterback sucks. Baker
Yeah.
blows. Eat a dick. They killed the Packers. Like completely wrong, the wrong thing. I was off.
Yeah. I mean
I'll take
the
that. I will.
that's
I
it's
will
not
eat
a
that one.
crazy it's not a crazy take to think that they weren't gonna do well. Baker's been on 3
So
teams in like 2 years, but them winning the division, I mean, it's the fucking NFC South. Who gives a shit? Someone had to win it.
to be to be fair, I had the Saints winning the division, and they were the runner-ups. Like if
Right.
the Bucks would have lost, they would have won it. So I was right there,
And if
just
we
not
would have
close
lost, they
enough.
would have made it in because the Seahawks lost,
Correct.
right? They
Correct.
lost. Yeah.
Yep. The other thing is I thought the Eagles were going to be so good they were going to be on cruise control. Like I thought they were just going to dominate the league like they did last year, get even better. I was a little worried about Hurts and the coordinators. I pointed that out too, which props to me, but I don't know who saw this collapse coming, but it was bad.
No. It's in such a bad time too.
Yeah.
Like you got to be peaking like us right now.
Yes. So your take, You stated, and I quote,
Oh God.
Dak Prescott stinks. He is not a good quarterback. I don't even know if he's top 10 or top 15.
All right, I'll eat that.
I mean, he literally has like the best numbers in the league this year. It's just this season.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
probably,
he's playing
if
pretty
not,
good this year. He's playing pretty good.
he is. And
I still wouldn't
if
want
he's
him though.
not well, I mean, I'm not saying he's the best quarterback or top five, but he's definitely on the top three-ish MVP voting. Like, there's a
Hmm.
hard argument he could be two, but
Yeah.
that kind of you ate that one a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, my NFC seeding, I had Niners, Eagles, Packers, Saints. So that was slightly off, just a little.
The
And
last
then I
two.
had Cowboys, Seattle, Lions. So technically, I got five out of the seven playoff teams correct, just in a
That's
little
pretty good.
different way,
That's pretty good.
which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't know yours. You had the two and you got two right, so you were two for two. Let's
Oh yeah,
There
baby.
you go. Um,
Stats lie.
AFC,
I'm 100%.
AFC for me, I had Chiefs one seed. They made it in, but not one, obviously. Bengals two. I'm putting that out there right away. We were on Bengals in the Super Bowl, Burrow MVP, Bengals winning the Super Bowl. So Burrow's injury just fucked us. I don't know if they would even made it there with him, but that killed our everything,
For our
all of it.
egos, I think he would have won MVP somehow. He would have made it to the playoffs. He would have won,
You never
got to the
know.
Super Bowl, and he would have won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so I had Bengals two. I had the Jags at three, which hurts. And then I had Ravens or Bills four. So I had the Bills winning the division. I had Ravens five, Jets six, and the Steelers as seven. So
Wow.
again, I got one, two, three, four out of the seven. So a little worse there. Aaron's
Hmm.
injury obviously hurts. Jags go downhill. And then the thing I don't think I heard myself say is I didn't think Tua could stay healthy, and he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So that kind of hurt the Miami
And
portion.
for I think I picked the Jags to get into, but it's like they should have. They should have.
Well, they just needed a win to get in. I mean,
No one expected the fucking Houston Texans to do what they did. And the Jags should have made the next jump. They were
well,
ready for
the
it.
guy, the guy on NBC, that Kornacki, whoever, he said last year, I forgot what week, it was like week 10 or some shit, they had like a 16% chance to get in, and then they ended up being like the division winner as the four seed or three seed or whatever last year. And
Yeah.
then this year, they had like I think it was the opposite. So they had like an 84% chance to make the playoffs at week 10, and they didn't make it. So it just
Yeah.
completely turned. It was weird. Your AFC, you had Bengals one, Chiefs two, Jags three, Jets four, Ravens five, Bills six, Steelers seven. So very similar to mine,
Yeah.
just a little different order.
No, yeah.
Um, Other than that, I had Mahomes as my regular season MVP. That went to shit. But we were probably a little down on the Ravens. We got the
And
Steelers.
two up on the Chiefs, but I mean, how how can you not be when they just won the Super Bowl? I know they
Yeah,
lost
they just won the
pieces and
Super
we can
Bowl.
say that
Yeah,
now, but that's hindsight bias, so it's not
correct.
crazy.
So
A
I
lot
mean,
of fucking people
I
picked them
wouldn't
to
say we
win.
were. Yeah, I wouldn't say we were horribly off. I wouldn't say we were horribly correct. I would say we're probably better than most, though.
I'll take it.
That's what I would argue. Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about some coaching changes or needs for changes?
Nope. I want to do awards first. Sorry. I want to
Oh,
do a quick run through of who we think won. So MVP, who do you got?
Lamar.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy. Who do you have? I would agree too. Coach of the year, I think is tough, but I'm probably gonna go with the Texans guy,
Yeah,
as
it's
Alexa would
between
call him, DeMarco.
DeMarco
Ryans, him. You got. I mean, there's a lot of good
Stefanski.
cases. I think
I've
him,
seen Stefanski on
Stefanski for
there.
the, yep, for the Browns. I think there's a hard argument for Kyle Shanahan because that team is tough, and I think he's a huge reason why. Like
Hmm.
he's a big deal for that team. I think there's an outside case for this loser in Green Bay, like bringing a young team to the playoffs. Like that's a possibility. He needs to get some recognition for it. I don't believe it, but he should.
Matt, if you're watching, and we know that you are, you shouldn't get Coach of the Year.
No.
Sorry, buddy.
So who you got? Who do you got in that one?
You're going DeMarco. I'll go Stefanski because they did a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, you got fucking Joe Flacco off the couch and he's just throwing darts now. You had how many fucking different quarterbacks this year? All the turmoil,
Yeah.
ups and downs. I think that's pretty impressive.
Okay. Offensive player of the year. I'm gonna go. I think you got obviously Tyreek, CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna just go with Tyreek Hill. I think it was just a special season.
Yeah, he was good. I think I was so high on CMC. I think I'm gonna go with him because I thought he had a amazing year too.
I mean, both were in the MVP conversation for a reason. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
defensive player of the year, I think you have to discuss. I'm picking Miles Garrett, best defense,
Yep.
arguably the best player. TJ Watt's got to be on the list though. I mean, that team runs
Yeah,
if
I
he
think
goes.
it's up to those two. I would probably give Garrett the edge.
Micah, Micah too. He should be on a ballot. I don't think
Yeah.
he's in their area, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Miles Garrett.
Who do you have for offensive rookie of the year? Are you going
I'm going
Puka? Are
Stroud.
you going Stroud? Yeah, I think you got to.
I
He's
mean,
the reason they
Puka
are
was
where they
great.
are.
That's an awesome season, but he broke records. Records to me
Any
don't
other
make
season, he might have won.
right. Records to me are weird now because you get an extra game, and it took the extra game for him to get that record. It's one thing if he beats the record by week 15 or 16 or whatever, but now that he had to do it in week 18, it's like he broke it because there's an extra game. So unless you can like, adjust those stats to be relevant to people who previously held the records in shorter amount of time, I don't know how you really look at that. Plus, quarterback is just more important. So Stroud being a rookie, you know, Panthers are probably like, fuck, we picked the wrong guy. But I think it's more than just him. It's the coach, like you said. But yeah, rookie of the year on the offensive side for sure.
I think speaking of games, like people don't talk about OJ Simpson ran for 2,000 yards in 14 games. That's
Yeah,
but Eric Dickerson has the record, but he only had 14 games or 12 games or whatever the fuck it was.
right,
Like that's crazy. That's a clip. That's like easy a buck 50 a game.
right.
More. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
And then he murdered somebody.
People don't think
Like
of that stuff nowadays with records like that. So it's like you got
no.
to keep that in mind. Who's your offensive
Um
rookie of the year?
I don't I got Stroud. For defensive, I don't really. I probably Will Anderson on the Texans,
Yeah, that's the
because
only one
their
I've
team's doing
seen,
well.
but I don't know enough defensive rookies if I'm being honest, so I couldn't give you a good one. All right. So those are our awards. Um, moving on to talk about some coaches.
Yep. So this is the game we're gonna play with coaches. Some of these have been fired already. Some of these, do we think they should be fired? Some of them that they shouldn't be fired. Like, what are we doing with these people? And you have to put for the next To the next one is the same thing with quarterbacks. What are you doing with this quarterback? Are you trading them, keeping them, extending them,
I'm the GM or the
signing them,
owner.
whatever? So we're putting GM owner hat on, and you want to be successful, right? We're not rooting for against them because it's the Bears. We
For the
want this to
future.
succeed. Yes,
For the
for how you would
Okay.
organize.
Okay. I got
Well,
it.
yeah, it's how you would organize your team, and if you want to justify it by we can win now, blah blah blah, then yeah.
Sure. Okay. We'll
Um,
go quick. We got a lot,
big,
but we don't want to
big,
spend too much time on each one.
yep, yes, big one, Bill Belichick.
Not firing him. I'm parting ways. Um, you gotta, he's arguably the best coach ever, and he did so much for that, for my team, if I'm the Patriots. He did so much for my
Mhm.
team, so we're gonna have a meeting behind closed doors, be like, hey, we gotta, you know, it's not working, obviously. So we're gonna mutually agree to part ways. And that's how you're gonna, there's ways that you could frame it, for the media. So it's not like he got fired. And I think he'd be on board with that because he deserves to coach somewhere else if he still wants to do it. So move on.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I completely agree with it.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's like too obvious, right?
yeah. I'll take the next one. Arthur Smith. He was fired. He should have been fired. Doesn't know how to use his players. It's a
Yeah.
disaster.
You draft
I
Bijan
think it's pretty.
to not give him the ball.
And
That's such a
Kyle
high
Pitts.
pick for
Yeah.
a running back. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that one's pretty easy. Doug McDermott. Okay. And this is the Bills coach.
This is
Here's my
tough.
asterisk. Right now, do you what are you leaning towards? And then if they don't make the championship game, what are you
Well,
doing?
that's totally different. Yeah. So if they lose, like, if they don't make the championship game, I think you move on. I think I would move on. If they do, he turned an otherwise bad one around. I would think more about it. And I'd have to have a real come to Jesus moment about what we're doing. Can we find a way to get an offensive coordinator, a better offensive coordinator, or someone else to help this
They got
guy?
to do that regardless.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like, I don't know. He did turn it around. They're the second seed. So it's like he figured it out somehow, but it's not pretty. So it's like, can you be that like stingy and want to be closer to perfection than, well, I guess not perfection, but being number one? Like, what else could they do? Number one in your conference is as good as you can get going into the playoffs. So I don't know what else you can do. I would say if they don't make it, you got to get rid of them. And then if you do, but you don't make it to the Super Bowl, I think Super Bowl, you keep them, whether you win or lose. But yeah, if you lose in the championship game, I would consider it too.
Yeah, if they
That's
got
a tough
killed, I
one.
would do it. Yeah, it's tough. I secretly want him to be the Packers D coordinator, so I'm not saying I want him to get fired, but that would be dope. Um,
Yeah.
just it's a tough situation. He's one of those guys, and we've all worked or been to school or seen where they're like, man, he gets 87s on tests all the time, or he does such a very solid work, but I want the 96. Like I want the guy that's ace in tests. Like I want the
Yeah.
guy who get me and I just don't think he's that guy.
And you
And you
have
got to take a risk.
you have Josh Allen, who's top three quarterbacks in the league right now, and probably will be for a long time. So you gotta make it happen. You gotta do something.
That's
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 like the
exactly
Bucks.
why. Speaking
That's the
as
Bucks firing
yes.
Budenholzer. When you got Giannis, you gotta fucking figure it out, man, because we're never gonna get something like this again. It's Buffalo. Um,
Yeah. That's the point. But don't hire a coach that doesn't know how to play defense for the Bucks. But
right.
anyways,
So you did say something
don't
that made me think of this
waste
though. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say what you were saying. Don't waste Aaron's prime years.
Yeah,
Like maximize this. Absolutely. It's Josh Allen. He's the
yeah.
most important piece.
So you said you want Doug as our D coordinator. What about Mike Vrabel? He got fired today. Doesn't he have a
You want to talk
connection?
about Mike Vrabel right now?
Yeah, let's just do that one then. What about, doesn't he have a
Um,
connection with LaFleur?
I'll go Mike Vrabel. There's zero chance Mike Vrabel becomes our D coordinator because he is a better
He
coach
will be
than
another
Matt LaFleur.
head coach somewhere.
He's he's a Mike Tomlin. Like the moment he gets fired, everyone else goes, "Damn, is our coach that good?" Well, we weren't gonna fire him, but wait, is he that good? Like
Yeah.
they question their own people who are already good. Mike Vrabel has been linked to the Patriots already. I mean,
Oh,
if Bill
duh.
leaves, he loves the
Duh.
Patriots. It's a whole thing. I agree,
You can
but
pick your
my
own
thing,
quarterback because they have the fucking third pick or whatever
yeah.
it is. So you just start fresh and with
So
a new guy. That'd be awesome.
I have two schools of thoughts. Like he went there or played there, loves craft. He was the Ring of Honor this year. You start your team fresh, but he's kind of doing that in Tennessee. So I'm kind of confused to why he's getting let go or fired, I should say.
Hmm.
I think the other option, and I'm kind of rooting for this one, is the Chargers. You have Herbert. You're a
That would be
culture
nice.
instiller, right? He changes things, and they need something to change over there. They've got dudes, they could compete if you fix it around just in a year or two. They got a higher draft pick. I think that if he doesn't want to jump in with a rookie quarterback and deal with the rookie bullshit, that's got to be attractive.
Yeah.
Like, and then him playing Mahomes twice a year, bring it on. Like, let's go. Like, that's going to be fireworks. And I would love to see that. That's my Mike Vrabel take.
Yeah. You're smarter than me. So I agree in this respect.
Stupid, stupid, stupid decision to get rid of him, I
Yeah.
think.
They're dumb. I don't know
Um,
what the hell they're doing.
quick, Ron Rivera, I think he should have been fired. It's a new coach or new
Yeah.
owner. Like, that just makes sense.
They have to
Chargers
revamp everything,
coach,
man.
yeah, like the speaking of Chargers, the old Chargers coach, he got fired. It should have been.
Yeah. We already talked about
Panthers
that
coach, he
basically.
got fired during the season. He should have
Panthers are a
been.
dumpster
Do we
fire
think
there. That
Antonio?
owner's an idiot.
Yep, they just fired their GM too. Do we think Antonio Pierce should get the Vegas job?
Um, no.
Because the only other rumor I hear is him, or they're considering. I think it was Vrabel or Harbaugh. It's one of the two.
Jim Harbaugh.
Correct. That's we're gonna go into that real quick. Jim Harbaugh is a huge, huge name right now. Like for Chicago, if Chicago gets rid of their guy for the Chargers, maybe he goes to um Washington. Maybe he like I don't want to leak into others some people, but there's other names that if they go, he could go there too. He's a hot commodity, and the owner of the Raven or the Raiders is such a name grabber. I think he should keep Pierce. Players loved him. They loved Bisaccia, and he went in the wrong direction, and you're just starting again. Keep somebody who the players get around. Is instilling a good culture or whatever. But if you're gonna go Harbaugh, you go Harbaugh, I guess. I don't know. The owner seems to do a lot of wrong shit over there.
Didn't Harbaugh, except for his barber, he picks a great barber. Didn't Harbaugh just not have the best success in, I mean, he made it to the Super Bowl, but his brother beat him. But other than that, like, you don't get relegated down to college because you're good.
That's not what happened.
What
So
happened?
quick quick story. He's successful pretty much everywhere he goes. So he in college he went to I forgot the first school. I think it was like Old Dominion or something. They went to 11 wins. And then he went to Stanford and they were winning there. First season with the Niners when they were like 5-12 the year before. Made it to the playoffs. He had three straight 11-win seasons. I think he went to two championship games in those and then went to the Super Bowl and lost. Him and the GM and the owner butt heads. The thing about Harbaugh is he, I guess, wears thin on people. Like the moment he gets there, it's great and it works and they love it. But if you aren't that type of person that can deal with his personality, it drops off fast. Like it, so then he was like forced out, even though they were successful. Went back to his alma mater, Michigan, because loves it, wants to bring a title there slowly. I mean, they weren't great right away, but obviously we see last night college football playoff, and then wins. He wins. It's
All
just
right.
what it is.
Yeah, I didn't know all that, but I don't
Yep.
know.
Um. Okay. Do we think Bears coach Matt Eberflus? What do we think?
Did their new GM hire him?
No.
So if I'm the new GM, I'm just starting over. I'm gonna jump ahead and I'm getting a new head coach. I'm trading Justin Fields and I'm drafting my quarterback.
Saints coach Dennis Allen. Do the Saints need to make a change?
I don't know. I didn't watch enough of them. They suck. Probably, yeah.
I'll answer this then. They need to. You need fuck Derek Carr, fuck Dennis Allen. It's like Kirk Cousins Walmart light. Like it's not good enough at quarterback and it's not good enough at coach. I'd wipe that shit clean. We
Yeah.
we, we couldn't
When you
compete in
said
the
don't score and your players just totally,
you
go
lost
behind
the
your back
team.
and do it, like, yeah, you have no respect. So that's probably, yeah, that's a good one.
Um okay, so then we talked Vrabel, Mike Tomlin.
Fuck
Should
no.
he get fired?
No, you're
Will
an
he
idiot.
leave?
I
Will he
don't,
leave?
is there speculation he'll leave?
There's always speculation because people always want him out. I've heard he's got an affinity for the coast, along with Bill Belichick. So the Chargers job comes to people's minds.
That'd be
When
sweet.
other culture setters, yep. So it's an
For
interesting
for
thought.
my as a fan of just football, yeah, I would say get him out of there because
It'd be kind of
they've
cool,
been
wouldn't it?
stagnant for so long.
Well,
They make
that's
the
the
playoffs, but they don't
argument.
do anything. They make the playoffs, but they don't do anything. But he,
That's the argument.
like, what is he
He's
supposed to do
above
with fucking
500.
Kenny Pickett
Well, that's the counterpoint, but he's
and
above
the tail
500.
end of fucking Roethlisberger's career? So it's like, okay,
Roethlisberger,
well, he
yeah.
was slowly dying, and then you have to build up with two glove over here. It's like, no,
He's 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 a defensive coach. They're always in it, but are they ever legit contenders? And then like, yeah, he's struggling with the coaches and the quarterbacks, but like, isn't he partly responsible for that? Like he picked that offensive coordinator. He was part of the process that I know the GM makes the pick, but like he's got say on quarterback you're taking.
right?
I don't know. It's an interesting discussion. Last one, and I people might be shocked. Mike McCarthy.
Um, I I don't think they will. Should they? I mean, we lived through that, so probably.
My prediction, and I'm not going to give away my playoff predictions. If they don't make it to the championship game or they do something horrific like
You gotta.
blown blown move, I think he's gone, and I think Bill Belichick might be the next head coach of the
Oh,
Dallas Cowboys.
fuck me.
Yep.
That we do
Because
not need.
and what makes sense for Bill Belichick? Oh, I don't have to find talent. I'm not that great at that right now. Jerry Jones can match my ego because his ego is huge. He'll take care of that. I'll just coach the team. And oh wait, you got a shit ton of talent. I can just X and O the hell out of this. It
And
just
I've
match. It just
heard that he's
fix.
like there's questions on if he wants all you know, the keys to all the cars like he does right now in New England or not. Like a lot of
I
people
get.
might be
Yeah,
thinking he doesn't want to do that anymore. So yeah, that makes sense.
I saw a report today that they said he's willing to give that portion up. So it'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
Jeez, that could be crazy.
Next. So now we're on to quarterbacks. Let's fly through some of these. We spoke about Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I
what
You
do you
talked about it
agree?
earlier. I I don't think he's a bad player,
No.
but I would it's strictly because of Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not enamored with Drake May or the other ones, but Caleb Williams looks like a generational player to me, and I am taking him. I'm firing the coach. I'm starting fresh, and we're doing something great. As a Packer fan, keep Justin Fields. Don't get Caleb Williams.
I'm
Like
not
that's how I
quite.
think of it. Like, what
You're
do I
pretty
not want
high.
them to do?
You're pretty high on Caleb Williams. I'm not yet. I just see a lot of like emotional immaturity, and I'm not just saying because he was crying or whatever. He just,
He's also
I
like
don't know.
21, so like
I know,
that's
but
the thing.
still, um, I
And
think you
and
almost have to because
I'm
Justin Fields is playing decent, and he probably will have some decent success somewhere else. But think of what you can get for him then. You can trade, knowing that you have Caleb Williams, if that's who you're set on. You can
well,
trade
they
for
would
quite a bit for that,
yeah, you're gonna get
because
more if
you're
you
gonna get a
trade for
lot for
one
him.
pick, but a lot you
Right.
could get something for him, and you can still draft Marvin Harrison, and you can still load it up. I don't think Caleb, if he goes to Chicago, I don't think he's gonna be great because Chicago is where people go to die. Like if Patrick Mahomes was on Chicago, he would not be good, and which is
Yeah.
sad because I want to see him be good because it would be really fun to watch. Like have a couple Josh Allen, Mahomes, a couple of those guys. But if he's in our division, that sucks.
But
It blows.
think of all the teams right now at the beginning of the draft. Like, I don't care. You pick any of those. It's like Washington, New
Everyone needs a
England. They're
quarterback.
all dumpster fires. I don't care where he goes, they're not going to be very good with him unless he's that guy.
Yes.
If you're that guy, you make teams like that flip a switch, like Kyler Murray did with Arizona for a little bit before he got
Burrow.
hurt and they changed all that. What Burrow did to Cincinnati. If you're that guy, you can flip the script. So we'll see, I guess.
Desmond Riddler.
Is it Riddler or Ritter?
No, it's Ritter. He's a joke. That's my
Yeah, I was
hot
gonna
joke of the
say,
day.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Ritter. Get him the fuck out of here. I don't even know. I
Yeah,
don't even
he
know who he was before this fucking season.
why he was undrafted blows my mind. Kirk Cousins.
You gotta move on. You gotta,
I
you got,
completely, without a doubt, agree.
I mean,
Do not pay that man.
we've been saying this for so long. He's Kurt Cousins. He's not Kirk. He's Kirk at
He
noon
had a
on
good
Sundays when no one's watching. He's
he had a
Kurt.
good
He's
year,
decent.
but it's just not it.
He'll win in the NFL. But so did fucking Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay.
I, I'm just
That's not the guy.
saying that at their position, they could get a Bo Nix, a Michael Penix, the kid from LSU, Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels, and
Yeah.
with Justin Jefferson, they would have a
Oh my
lot
God.
higher ceiling. Just
Especially like
saying.
look at our division. Jordan Love, young,
Yeah, you got to
doing
compete in the
great.
long term.
Fucking the Bears either have Justin Fields who's trending up and young, or you pick someone younger and possibly better. And then
Yeah,
Jared Goff
you
is
don't want that old guy.
eh. We don't like Jared Goff, but the Lions are number one in our division,
And
so you might as well be last if you're fucking Minnesota because
their
you have an
roster,
old hurt quarterback. You got to fix
yes,
it. You got to do something. You got to
their
hang
roster's not good enough to win now, and he's not going to help you
win
fill those
later.
holes.
Yeah.
And you also have to pay Justin Jefferson like 40 fucking $1 million a year now.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a shit ton. So I'm keeping the
You got to
guy.
spend
Yeah.
money smart and
Yep.
get rid of him. Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer.
All right. I think a couple of these are next two are pretty easy. Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you decided you wanted him, so you have to keep him at least, see what he can do.
Yeah, you have to. Kenny
You're
Pickett.
married to that. Get him the fuck out of there.
I completely agree. Daniel Jones.
Get him the fuck out of there. He shouldn't even be in the league.
So the problem, I mean,
He's
he
a
should be in the
backup
league,
at
but like
best. He's a backup.
they signed him to a $40 million deal, so they
Yeah,
can't get rid of him. But
and
I
he
would be drafting
sucks.
my replacement and having him sit and then get rid of him the next year because he's come back from an ACL. Their team's a disaster. Like I am putting a reboot, and I
Yeah,
think the coach is
if you
good.
made that horrible decision to give him that huge contract, okay. All right, we make mistakes. I agree. Draft his replacement, and then as soon as you can offload him, offload him.
Yes. Sam Howell.
Go.
Yep. Derek Carr.
Go.
Whoever the Raiders quarterback is.
Jimmy G, get the fuck out of here too. You got to
Well,
pick
it's
someone
Jimmy
different.
G, it's Aiden O'Connell. It's you got to
Nah,
start
I don't
with a
know who
young
that
guy
is.
that's
Jimmy
actually good.
G just dates
Yes.
porn stars and cares more about his hair than anything else. He's not it.
He can't be the best looking guy in the league and the greatest player. You can't
That's
have
true.
both. Broncos slash Russell Wilson. What should the Broncos do with quarterback and where should Russell go? Because we
I
know
mean,
he's leaving now.
yeah, which I still don't really know the whole story, but if I what I understand is correct, he's a pretty good sport about handling it the way he did. You know, they literally said we're
Yes.
fucking moving on, but you have to lead the team and still try to win and take, let us do this so we don't have to pay you. He's a good guy for doing that, but I think they both want to just go their separate ways. I wouldn't want him. He's old and aging. He's still decent, I think, but yeah, I wouldn't want him.
Broncos need to draft one. Russell, like, probably after Kirk, but like Kirk will go to someone who wants to compete or start as a
Yeah.
gap quarterback or something, as
Yeah.
it'll be. Kyler Murray.
Um, what pick do they have? They're top five, right?
4,
Yeah.
5, 4.
That's tough. I don't know. I mean, he's coming off an injury. I didn't watch him enough. They were competitive, kind of, and he's supposed to be this fucking good. He was like in the MVP race that one season, right before he got hurt. I was
I'll take this
never,
one.
I was never high on
I'll take
Kyler,
it.
so I would say no, but yeah, go.
I mean, they just extended him. He came back from an ACL, played a little bit better, but they won some late games, brought in some momentum, just hired a new coach who had the worst like clips ever online as a new coach, but it somehow is working, just like Sirianni's were weird as fuck. Another person who might be on the hot seat if they get kicked out, Eagles coach Sirianni, just saying. Um,
Mhm.
I Kyler's special. I just don't think there's other people in the draft who are as special as him
So it might be a Daniel
outside of Williams.
Jones,
And
might be a Daniel Jones scenario where you wait and
you're
then
not,
feel it
yeah,
out.
you're not gonna get someone better. So like if you're in love with Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix, maybe, but like I don't think Drake May, who everyone thinks is, I don't think he is gonna be like that much better than Kyler Murray.
I
So I'm
think Drake,
sticking with the guy in the building.
when I see Drake May, I see Zach Wilson,
It's very similar to me. It's an overrated.
white
People
guy.
have him ahead of Caleb Williams, which is just a wild thing to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going. Geno Smith.
Nah, get him out of there. Too old.
I
It's a
agree.
young league,
Mac
man.
Jones. Yes, Mac Jones needs to go
Fuck.
somewhere. I don't know where. I don't think he's that good.
He
Patriots
needs to
need to
go
draft a
sell
quarterback.
cars.
Yes, he's so bad. Jared Goff.
We don't think he's that good. I don't think he is. But I mean, they're having success, so you got to keep him. You just got to roll with it and see how long you can. It's probably a matter of like 3 years before they got to get out of there, though.
I disagree.
Hang on to him.
Why? No, I think you get someone this year. They
Really?
just got,
They just
yes,
won
they
the
just got, so
division, and you're gonna say, "Hey, thanks for winning the division. We're moving on from you." That's not because it's not
listen,
good enough. We need to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
listen. They just drafted Hendon Hooker. So if that guy's the guy out of Tennessee, then maybe this whole plan is irrelevant. I don't know how he is looking and whatever. So maybe that is. But I'm telling you, Jared Goff's not winning you a Super Bowl, like you said. The Packers, I don't know, we fucking made it to the NFC Championship game. We're like, oh, let's draft a quarterback. When we had the guy who could win the Super Bowl, right? If Bo Nix or whoever the fuck falls in late in the first round or whoever, and you're like, damn, he's there,
Mm-hmm.
you draft him. You don't have to
Yeah.
start him, and then you run his contract out. The problem is like Goff could want an extension. Well, if you can't get him for cheap, what are you doing?
Then I get rid of
Like,
him.
I don't know, you extend him, right? But like if you can extend him for like 2 years so he plays next year and the year after and you have the young gun come in, that's the dream because
I don't
they are not
understand
winning a Super
the
Bowl with him.
Hendon. I don't understand that one. And what's his name? Hooker?
He was
Isn't
on
he old?
Tennessee.
Isn't he old too? He's like
He can't
25.
he came out old because
Redshirt
he had
at
like
some point.
ACL problems. Yeah, and he
Yeah, so he's
redshirted and
old to begin with, and he's not playing it. Like that's not a recipe for
correct.
success.
He was really good his last season until he tore his ACL, but that's why I'm saying draft a quarterback.
Okay. But you're I
Jordan
are
Love.
you moving on from him the same day? No, you're waiting.
No, I would probably keep him, but if like
Right.
fucking they jumped if they want to if like someone like I don't know, pick a quarterback that you Jaden Daniels, you're like, damn, like that's the guy. And he falls to like 15
Yeah. And
and they
then
want to jump up
who
and
knows if
get
he
him,
fucking outplays them
then you
in
drop it
camp
off,
and
right?
stuff,
That's what
then
I mean.
sure. Okay.
Yeah. Jordan Love.
Oh, we riding, baby. We're riding with him.
Are you extending Jordan Love
When do we have to do that? This year? This off season?
next year?
After the
Ne
year?
no, I think it's next year. He
Before
signed
or after next season?
after next season, he's a free agent.
So do we extend
Technically,
him
I mean,
before or after? When would you
technically
do
he
it?
signed like technically he signed like a 5 year and like voided all this shit. So like we have him but don't have him. It's stupid cap logistics. But long story short, next year is when you is it's like done after this next season.
Yeah, then
So I'm
I
saying, do
wait
you
till
extend
after
him
this
this
next
off
season.
season during the season? But then he's going into the off season as a free agent, and then you have to
Can you do it
franchise
midway
him,
through
or
the
you
season?
yeah, you can, and then
Yeah,
Bakhtiari shows
you
up,
see
and
how
that
you're
all goes
doing.
down to shit.
You see how you're doing, and then well, first of all, you fucking trade Bakhtiari. Second of all, the Jets
Well,
want
I'm
him, so
just no,
fucking
I'm
take him.
saying like that's when people tear their ACL, and then
Oh
that's what I
yeah.
think we're afraid of. We don't extend people like that.
No, I would just see
But
how the
yes,
season's
I think
going, and
you
then you
if
gotta ride
I
with him.
would
They're not gonna trade him now. He got us to the Super
I
Bowl when
know.
Aaron
I
couldn't.
know,
It's
but
similar, whatever.
it's
But yeah, I mean, you gotta ride with him. He's playing well. We went and got him, so we're gonna let
playoffs,
him do it.
not the Super Bowl, yeah.
But
Um
it's his first
okay,
fucking year.
quick. Baker,
I I think you ride with him. If
I
someone's
will
available,
too.
then go.
I was off on him to start, so I'll give him his credit. Will Levis.
The glimpses I saw of him, I was impressed. I thought he actually was pretty good, but I didn't see enough. So if you're a new head coach or anything like that, if you really love a guy and you want to go for it, then I guess yeah, they already have fucking Malik Willis who doesn't play. So it's like, what's another quarterback?
Okay, what about Tua?
Um, I think you got to keep him. He he's a system quarterback to me, and their system works down there. They just have to figure out how to beat decent teams. Him and Mike McDaniel work well together. I think he's decent. If he stays healthy, yeah.
I'm moving on from Tua.
Yeah.
I am anti Tua. I don't think he's good
I
when
don't
it
either.
matters
I don't think
up pressure.
I don't think he is either.
If someone falls, I'm extending him to his 5th year option, and if someone falls, I'm picking him. And like if you don't get on your horse, you're gone. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
I think we have a lot of those
He's
like that.
yes.
Where you
It's a
kind of like
lot of quarterbacks in question.
I don't know, yeah.
It is. All right, that is it for quarterbacks. Now we are going to do our playoff predictions. We're going to go through the whole thing to the Super Bowl, see if we're right on this now. And then
Oh
so
shit.
that's going to be tough, obviously. But and then we can kind of talk about the games this weekend while we do it. We don't have to go too in depth, but just looking at it as a whole. So let's start with the AFC Bills Steelers. I'm assuming we're both going Steelers.
I'm going Bills, bitch.
Okay, I just wanted to catch to see if you were paying attention. Okay, Bills. Um, 3-6 seed. I do think the Steelers can win if Watt plays. Like there's an outside chance, like with the like I said, but otherwise it's the Bills to lose. 3-6 Chiefs Dolphins negative like 10-degree cold game. What do you got?
I'm going Chiefs.
I
They're not
agree.
losing in the
I
first round.
think I think if they had Chubb and they had Phillips and it sounds like Mostert and Waddle and all them are gonna play, which helps. I think it'll be a close game. I'm not I would like the Dolphins can win that, but this seems like dynasty we've been there win for the Chiefs.
Right.
That's um and then so that means the winner of the Browns and Texans goes to Baltimore. So who do you got in that one?
I think this will be a better game than people. I don't know if people don't think it's a good game, honestly, but I think it'll be a pretty good game.
It's a
I think the
clo-
Texans will show up.
it's a close spread.
They'll those young boys will give them a run for their money, but I think the Browns defense prevails. Joe Flacco is Mr. Cool, Joe Cool, so he's gonna make it happen. And I think it's too
Early.
like perfect for them to not play the Bengals or sorry, the
Oh yeah.
fucking Ravens.
Yeah, go back to the
Yeah,
Ravens. Yeah.
it's like almost
Okay.
you can't write a better one.
I agree. I think if Stroud like totally plays a great game and handles them, Flacco throw is good for call. Listen here, he's good for at least one, if not two interceptions a game. Like it's mark it down, bet
Hmm.
it. It's like -1,000. So like it can happen, but I'm going Brown. So then that would lead us to a hell of a divisional weekend.
Yeah.
We got Browns who have beat the Ravens, Flacco returning to Baltimore, Lamar with his Johnny. Johnny's gonna take my spot. Did you get that video I sent
Yeah,
you?
that's kind of weird.
And then he tweeted Johnny. I don't know if there's any connection there.
It's bizarre though.
They've already
Why
beaten
would
him
you just
there.
tweet Johnny? Yeah,
I don't know. Who wins that one? Ravens coming off the bye. They've lost coming off the bye before.
I think Ravens win.
I do too. I think it'll be a good game, but I think Flacco's turnovers
Will be the
will come to
difference.
bite him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
And
don't
Lamar's
want to see Joe
MVP.
Flacco in the championship game. I'm just going to be honest with you,
Yeah,
because
we can't
whoever, if he
have
has to,
that. We can't have that.
because the Ravens, because that means if the Ravens get knocked out and the Chiefs win, they would be at home again for the 17th million time in a row, and I just can't.
Wouldn't it be
So with this
bizarre
scenario,
if Joe Flacco somehow made it to the Super Bowl with
it'd be
the
fun.
Browns
I
and
would
then he
root
ended
for
up
it. Go
playing
for it.
the fucking 49ers when he beat them last time? That'd
It
be
would be
nuts.
nuts.
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Um,
I say
Chiefs
Ravens.
Bills. Then this would be
Another great
Mahomes' first
game.
road playoff game.
Hmm.
What do we think?
I say the fucking Bills, baby. Let's go. I want it to happen. I think it will because they already beat them. They're at home now. They got a one playoff game, one win under their belt. I mean, we beat the fucking Kansas City Chiefs. Anyone can beat them. Let's go, baby. Bills.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Damn.
I 100% on your train. I think the Bills can beat them. If Josh plays an A game, I think that they beat him. But the Chiefs defense is good, and I think the Bills are too reliant on Josh. Being home helps, but Andy Reid outcoaches Sean McDermott when it matters most, and I think the Chiefs' experience beats him again. Not that
Yeah.
Mahomes saves the day, but I could see it being like 21-17 Chiefs win.
Yeah. I could see that.
which would be tough.
I hope
So
it doesn't.
in your world, you have Bills Ravens, which would be a great game.
Hmm.
Who do you got?
I'm going with the fucking Bills.
Oh wow, stop with that.
Why not?
It'd be wild. It'd
I
be
know.
wild.
For
I would
some
love
reason,
it.
I just feel like they didn't have to win. I mean, they kind of had to win to get in, but for some reason, it feels like the Packers Super Bowl run to me in 2010, 11.
Yeah, we're backs against the wall,
We had
and
to
you have an
run the
elite quarterback,
table
and
and we didn't look
defense
good
is
for a
good.
lot of it. And you're like, but for some reason, I feel like they just get it done. I don't like the Ravens because I don't know anyone besides Zay Flowers that he can throw to. Odell Beckham with half a knee and how old he is. I don't know. Is their defense that good? I don't know. I think the Bills just figure it out. I don't. I think
Okay,
Josh Allen is the guy.
okay. Um, in my scenario, I have Ravens Chiefs. I'm taking the Ravens because I think this is where the Chiefs, all the fumbles this year of like dropping the ball, not being mentally sharp, losing, not having the skill position weapons, all comes to bite them in the ass.
Yeah,
Ravens are well coached. Lamar's playing better football. If they get over the Browns too, like they're back into the swing of things.
yeah,
They have a turnover sack defense to get after Mahomes. I think they got the answers to do it. I really
yeah.
do.
If the
So
Bills
I got
can't
the
get
Ravens in the
past,
Super
I
Bowl.
agree. The Ravens were my close second, so it's either the Ravens or the
I
Bills for me.
I am gonna say something here. If the Bills make it to the Super Bowl, I think they're winning the Super Bowl. Like if they beat the Chiefs and then beat the Ravens, like then
Just
they're
wait
on
till
a
you see
path
my
that,
my pick for the Super
right?
Bowl champ.
Yeah. If you take the Packers, I swear to fucking God. Okay, so then NFC Eagles Bucks.
This one was one of the harder ones for me.
Do you want me to go?
I'm not kidding. Yeah, go. You go first for
I'm
these.
taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They played them close the first time,
Last
and
year.
I do not believe in
Did
the.
they play
Yeah,
last
well,
year?
no, they played them. The Cowboys played the Bucks last year. The Eagles played the Buccaneers in like October on a Monday night, and it
Hmm.
wasn't a horrible game. Eagles won. They pushed their way to victory, but I just see two different directions of teams.
Yeah, I do too. And I mean, Baker's playing well. He's got Godwin and Evans, who
But
somehow
the
gets a
Eagles
thousand
defense
yard
sucks
season
too.
every year, even no matter if Tom Brady, Dink and Dunk is throwing to him or Baker Mayfield is too. So their defense is solid.
Jabo.
I was like, this is tough because I want to give the Eagles like the benefit of the doubt. They are just, they needed to figure this out, but you don't have time to figure this out. It's coming now. I agree. I say Bucks win, and it sucks because I think even though the Eagles aren't playing well, I think they would have had a better shot at beating the Niners. So it sucks because the Niners get a fucking cakewalk to the conference championship. But yeah, I say Bucks too. Fuck it.
Um, I think Sirianni's on the extreme hot seat if that happens too.
Oh, he's
Rams,
gone if it is. Yeah.
yeah, Rams, Lions. This was my hardest one. Like this one was like fuck for me.
To me, it wasn't that
Oh,
hard.
you picked the Rams.
Rams.
Yeah. See, I don't think people are. I think people are overestimating the Rams a little too much now. Like they're a little too hot. Like the Lions move people on offense. I think it just comes down to whose defense doesn't get gashed more. I could see this being a high scoring game. Not having Laporta would really hurt the Lions.
That was a big reason. And who do you want in a shootout? Jared Duck throwing Goff or Matt fucking big arm Stafford, who, by the
Yeah.
way, got like full crowns done on all of his teeth and he looks so Hollywood right now. I'm like, fucking LA changed this man. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I want him chucking the ball, not Jared Goff.
So I'm gonna go with the Rams as well, just because of Stafford and McVay. I think the Lions are did with Jared Goff, but it would not shock me if the Lions won. Like I think
Yeah.
this is gonna be a great game.
Oh, I misspoke then because now my lower seed, the Rams would have to play the 49ers. So it's not as
Correct.
much as a cakewalk. So my bad. Yeah, okay, Rams.
Unless
The pack are truly back. Which they aren't. I'm picking the fucking Cowboys.
are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're not taking them, you bullshit.
Um I'm so tempted to pick the Packers.
I know,
I
but of
really
course we
am.
are. Of course we are. You can't.
I don't think so. I don't think Dallas gets to the championship game. And I had two theories because they just choke. They choke in the playoffs. They just
Hmm.
do. So I have two theories of thought. I had schools of thought. I had, well, who are they going to lose to? They would either have to play the Lions, the Packers, or the Buccaneers or the Eagles. Well, I think the Bucks are going to win. So, are they going to lose to the Bucks? I think that's a less likely scenario.
Yeah,
So then I'm like,
they're getting to the
maybe
NFC
the
Championship.
I was like, maybe the Rams.
Unfortunately.
I don't. So I'm gonna take the Packers. I'm gonna do
Oh,
it.
fuck
I
off.
don't.
We're not.
I don't genuinely believe it, but I just don't think they're like if our defense doesn't show up, I wouldn't be shocked. But like I think we can shock that team.
I think so
I
too.
really
I
do if
don't think
Watson
it's
plays.
it's as solid of a win as people think. I think it'll be a little more competitive.
And it would be a
Maybe for just like half the
typical
game, but then they'll just take over and be like, okay, well, that's what we had in us. But we
it
can't.
would
They
be
play
a
so well at home.
typical yeah, it'd be
Who
a
the fuck
typical
is
Dallas
guarding
collapse though.
CeeDee Lamb? Jair? Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Big Packer fan here.
Yeah, that was
I actually don't think the Packers are going to win, but I'm taking them in my bracket so I can look smart and seeing that happen in realistic terms. I think the
you're gonna look like
Rams
an
lose.
idiot.
Yep, I think the Rams lose to the Niners, and I think the Packers would lose to the Bucks again.
Well,
Correct?
the
No, the
Bucks,
Packers would lose. No, I'm sorry. The Packers would lose to the Niners in my scenario,
yeah,
and then the Rams would beat the Bucks. So then
okay.
we'd have
So
Rams
you have
Niners,
Rams,
and then
Niners in there.
I have Niners Super Bowl. But in a real world, you would have Dallas playing the Bucks, and I think Dallas probably beats them there, and I think Dallas gets smoked in the championship by the Niners again.
That's literally my bracket.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So
So then you got
I think
Niners.
I think LA San Fran divisional round is a good
That's a
game
good one.
because
Yeah.
they are in each other's division. So it's truly a
That
divisional
was the
round.
other thing that bothered
But
me is with I picking the Packers. We go to San Fran and get killed again, and it's like we can't fucking not lose that team in the playoffs, and it just bugs the fuck out of me. I would rather lose to Dallas than go to San Fran and get kicked. Like that's how
yeah.
badly it bothers me.
Well, because
But
we
I'm
don't
doing it anyways.
we we beat Dallas in the history of us playing Dallas in the playoffs, we beat them. Like recent history.
We're we're undefeated at Jerry World.
Right. So it's like if we lose this one, we're supposed to lose this one. So like, yeah, it doesn't really bother me. I still
That's
hate
why I
Dallas.
think we
I
can
will root
win.
against them no matter what. So yeah, I got Dallas beating us. I've got Dallas beating the Bucks because their Cinderella story is over now because were lucky enough to get paired against the fucking Eagles who are spiraling out of
So,
control.
so
And then I
Dallas
got
finally makes it to a
Dallas
championship
makes it to a
game.
championship game again. Wait, no.
Yeah.
The Dez catch was divisional round, right?
They haven't been to a championship game since 1993.
Okay, yep. So they finally make it just to get fucking
Slaughtered.
wiped by
Yeah.
the Niners. I think LA against the Niners will be a better game than people think. And then I think the Niners wipe them. And then I've got Buffalo versus Niners in the Super Bowl. You have or sorry. Yeah, Niners, Buffalo in the Super Bowl. You have Ravens, Niners in the Super Bowl.
I do think if Detroit beats the Rams, they beat Dallas too. I'm just saying. I'm putting that out there. Um,
Yeah, I would love that.
I think they can do it. They went down there already and they played like shit and they still could have won that game. I
Yeah.
have Ravens, I have Niners, I have a repeat of that Monday night game, but I have the Niners winning the Super Bowl.
Okay. Also a repeat of the Super Bowl. Um, was it in
Not
Atlanta
the same outcome.
when the
Saints, New Orleans.
it was in New Orleans with the lights that turned
Yep.
off and it was the Brother Bowl? Yeah.
Yep.
I
I'm taking the Niners strict. I think Lamar could be the difference maker, but I'm taking the Niners because I don't think Purdy will get three tipped passes for picks again.
yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
they'll be able to
I
help
think if
that out
that's
and
I
be a
agree
little
with you.
pissed.
I think if that's the matchup, they're gonna win. because they have more firepower. I would say
I think
Ravens
it'd
have
be a
the better.
great game though.
Yeah, I would because the Ravens have the better quarterback. But my quarterback that is playing them in my scenario is better than Lamar Jackson. Not the MVP this year,
They
but he's better. So that's why I'm picking the fucking Buffalo Bills to win it all, baby. Let's go.
You're crazy too. But if the Bills get there, I don't care who they play. I think they win because that means
That's
they
what I'm
went to
saying. I'm like,
Baltimore or Kansas City.
but tell me why they wouldn't be able to beat the Steelers. They should.
They
Tell me
will,
why
but
they shouldn't
Kansas
beat the
City's a
Kansas City
problem.
Chiefs. At home, they already fucking beat them away. So they should be able to beat them at home. So then they're on a fucking high. He finally gets to has he been to a AFC championship? Yeah. Against Mahomes, right? Yeah. And I'm just saying, like,
Who he beat in that regular season already, and then
right.
they lost in the postseason.
And he's not going to let it happen
Same
again.
scenario.
He's not going to let it
Same
happen
scenario.
again.
He doesn't have enough help. I'm just saying the guy
Diggs hasn't done
Sunday night.
shit. Diggs hasn't done shit, so he's going to get more involved. He has to.
Mason,
Do not get him.
they had like 450 total yards of offense, and he had 4 fucking 20. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck are we doing? It's
He's
not.
going
That's
to
why they can't win the Super Bowl. That's
single-handedly get them there.
not possible. If they get to the championship game and go through the Chiefs, I'm buying a Josh Allen jersey. I'm parading around the streets in my underwear in a Josh Allen jersey. Like
I don't
I will
know.
lose it.
I've seen the Ravens play some bad
Okay.
football this year. I've seen them play really good football too, but I think it's
Seen a
too
lot of
easy
teams
to just
play a
go
lot of bad
one and
football.
one. Yeah, I don't want it to be like that whole like, oh, the logo of the Super Bowl, it's purple and it's red, so everyone thinks like that's
Yeah, I'm not
this
doing it because of
where it's
that.
fucking Baltimore and San Fran. I hope that's not the case. I just like new faces in there. I think this is a year for
I
Buffalo when Mahomes is struggling so much, when he's the powerhouse.
That's why I think it's the year for Lamar. But we
Yeah.
gotta move on. We gotta wrap this up. Um, on to quick bets. Well, it's literally what we just talked about. Lions are favorites, so I'm going Rams.
Nice.
And Eagles are favorites, so I'm going Buccaneers.
Yeah,
I think those are
absolutely.
two nice picks.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Rams for jerseys.
Yeah, perfect. That's a good segue. Are you ready to do jerseys? Uniforms?
Yeah, let's roll.
Okay. This will be quick. This division, the only ones I really revamped were the Niners. So I sent you pictures of what they currently have. Um,
Okay.
I don't mind their jerseys. I think, if we're just working with their color schemes that they already have, we're not changing the colors because that's a whole nother story. I don't like their colors. They're way too bright, way too like you can't have two very bold
Is it
colors.
cream or is it
It's bone.
white
Yeah, it's
gray?
those are the bone. It's called bone. It's like a light gray where it's almost white. They also have white jerseys, which is basically the same thing as, their other ones, just white. Um, I I don't mind them. The things I would change would be I wouldn't do the can you tell on their blue jerseys they have like the gradient number where it goes from or yellow to white as you go down the number? Zoom in on the number.
Yeah, I can see it.
I don't like that. I'm not a gradient guy. The only gradient uniforms I've ever liked were like the Utah Jazz a couple years ago when they had like the sunset
In the thing.
uniforms. Those are cool.
Yeah.
But
I was just
I'm
gonna
not a
say
gradient
sunset.
guy.
I don't know why.
Yeah. You can keep the font, but just keep it one color. They got like the RAM, like if you look closely on the zero where it looks like the zero's like in 3 dimensions, like going away from you, kind of like the Rams horns are on the helmet. Just make it a solid
Hmm.
fucking number. Keep the font. I think the font is fine, but then just don't do the gradient. I don't like the gradient. I like the blue, blue, blue. Those look good. If you want to throw yellow pants on there, whatever. Um, for their homes, that's fine. The gray is okay. I don't really know why it fits in. I would probably just scrap that altogether. I'm not the biggest fan of those. Just do
I agree.
all white or white with blue pants. I don't like the white with yellow. It's just I'm not a big yellow guy. It's not my favorite color. Like at least ours are gold, more gold. Ours is kind of like a
It is
orange yellow
yellow.
type, but theirs is like fucking bright yellow. That's bright yellow. And that's you can't see shit on here.
No, I can't tell.
Yeah, I mean it's a bright yellow. So I mean I would just revamp the entire fucking color scheme with them. I would go back to the navy and gold that they had when they were St. Louis, Kurt Warner type shit. That was badass. I love that. Or just navy and white like they did for the in between years when they didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
fucking they couldn't decide if they wanted to rebrand or not. Something like that. I don't like I get it. It's LA, they're bright, it's stars, you get the sunshine, the beach, the water, whatever, but it doesn't have to be that fucking spot on like, oh, we hit, our entire um city and whole mantra right on the head. You can fucking keep some tradition, you know, stick with those other colors that I like better. But that's eventually I'll totally revamp all the uniforms, like pick different colors, different schemes, stuff like that. But for those, they're fine. I mean, there's nothing like too bad about it. I like their helmets; they're cool with the
I do too.
the
Yep.
horns on there. It works. It's great. So nothing too crazy. So I haven't really designed one in a while, but we're going to the AFC now, and I want to do some fun ones. So let's do
Which
the
which
AFC
one?
North.
Ooh.
Browns, Bengals, Steelers,
Bengals.
Ravens.
All right. Cool.
That was a lot. If
So
you
it's gonna
stayed
be a
with it
long
this
one.
whole time, thank you. You're a true fan. But that's all we got tonight. Episode
All
20.
right.
Let's
Great
go.
weekend. Yep. Moving
Episode
forward.
20. Yeah, I'm excited. I love the
Blowing
fucking
up.
playoffs. We got games on Saturday already, right?
2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, 1 Monday, and then next Saturday, 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday.
One of
Then it's
them's
down
on like
to
Peacock only or
three
something. So
games.
it's like, well, shit.
NBC owns like 3 out of the 6 this
Yeah.
weekend. So,
Like, goddamn. Yeah,
but
love
we'll
Wild Card
see.
Weekend. It's fun.
Go Pack. Let's
Go
go.
Pack,
Fuck the
go.
Cowboys,
I hope you're
baby.
right. I hope I'm right. If if the Bills don't get to the Super Bowl, I'm picking the Ravens over the Niners. Just because fuck them. I hate the Niners. I just can't see Brock Purdy holding a fucking trophy that's
I'm
bigger than
rooting
him.
extremely hard for the Dolphins and the Packers this weekend. That's all I'm saying. Peace out.
GPG.
See ya.
GPG. Bye.
Love
Love you.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.